Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Kurujit Nakornthap, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy, on stage to tell us a little bit more about the awards.
Please give a warm welcome.
Dr. Songphop Polachan, Director General of the Department of Mineral Fields, Mr. Ramlan Malik, Vice President of Petronas, and also Chairman of SPE Asia Pacific Board of Directors, distinguished Board of Directors of SPE Asia Pacific Region, Mr. Ronald Thay, SPE Thailand Section Chairman, my dear friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and sawadee krap. It gives me great pleasure to come to this Society of Petroleum Engineers Thailand E&P Award Gala Dinner once again to reacquaint myself with my fellow petroleum engineer and geologist friends here in Thailand and from abroad, and to keep up to date with the latest trend and technology in oil and gas exploration and production industry. May I take this opportunity to also congratulate all the recipients of the SPE Thailand Award for this year 2012. The SPE Thailand section has been established, I believe, for almost 30 years now, and I'm proud to be associated with the section as a member. SPE Thailand has contributed to advance the cause of modern technology, higher education, safety practices, environmental awareness, and charitable social activities here in Thailand. And not to forget, organizing of the now famous Thailand Oilmen Golf Invitation annually in Pattaya for the past 2 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 40 years, we have seen an impressive and remarkable progress of petroleum exploration and production in this kingdom. From the first gas discovery and commercial development of the Erawan field by Chevron, then known as Union Oil or Unocal, in offshore Block 12 in the Gulf of Thailand in the late 1970s, to its first gas production in 1981, and the then world's longest undersea gas pipeline by PTT, and the first ever combined cycle gas-fired power plant in Thailand by EGAT in 1981. We witnessed the successive discovery in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s of many other offshore gas and oil fields, such as the Satun, Platong, Kapong, Funan, Chakrawan, and Pailin gas fields of Chevron, the Bongkot and the Atit gas field of PTT-EP, the construction of the additional second and third offshore gas pipelines by PTT, the completion of the Trans-Thai Malaysia gas pipeline by PTT and Petronas, and production of gas from the Joint Development Area by Charikali HES and Charikali PTT EPI. Offshore crude oil was also discovered and developed from the Nang Nuan oil field of PTT EP, the Thantawan and Benjanamat oil field of Chevron, and the Jasmine field of Mubadala Petroleum, the Bo Luang fields of salamander energy, and the Songkhla field of coastal energy. Onshore Thailand, production from the Sirikit oil field in Kamphaeng Phet province in 1983 by Shell and PTTEP was the first major oil development project in the kingdom and helped pave the way for many other oil discovery in northern and central plains of Thailand, such as the Vichianburi, Sithep, and Nasanun field by Eco Orient Energy, the Bung Ya and Bung Muang fields by Sino US and CNPC, the Nong Tum, Pradu Thao, and U Thong and Kamphaeng San fields by PTTEP, and recently the Arunothai field by Siam Moiko. Onshore northeastern Thailand was proven as a gas-prone area with the successful development of Nam Pong gas field by ExxonMobil in 1990 and the Sin Phu Hom gas field by Hess in 2006. Throughout all these years, the growth of E&P industry in Thailand is astonishing and provides a strong foundation for the electricity generation and petrochemical sectors in our country. And it also creates high-skilled job opportunity and high-tech services industry like platform engineering and fabrication, yards, seismic acquisition and processing, wildlife and mud logging, cementing, directional drilling, production testing, completion and workover, and helicopter services, to name just a few. From oil production at the level of a mere 200 to 500 barrels per day before the year 1981, Thailand is proudly producing now almost 3,650 million standard cubic feet per day of natural gas and 240,000 barrels per day of oil and condensate. Or roughly, we can meet 80% of the country gas demand and 25% of the country liquid hydrocarbon demand. Currently, natural gas utilization, both from domestic supply and import from Myanmar and LNG, are for electricity generation at 60%, for raw material for LPG and petrochemical industry at 20%, and as fuel for other industry at 14%, and for natural gas for vehicle at 6%. All these achievements would not have been possible without strong technical capabilities, innovation, determination, and perseverance of all professional men and women in the E&P industry in Thailand, past and present, to which all of you are proudly belong. Ladies and gentlemen, for Thailand, a strong and robust economy would have to depend on security of energy supply now and into the future. Over the past decade, Thailand has had to face with adverse impact of high oil prices and uncertain global economic situation. Last year, my country spent almost $40 billion US, or about 10% of our gross domestic product, on energy import to meet just 55% of our energy consumption requirement. Meanwhile, Thailand and the world is facing with another global problem that poses a threat to mankind and the environment: the issue of excessive greenhouse gas emission and its effect on climate change. It is a fact that the energy production and energy consumption sector can play a major role in helping to mitigate the greenhouse gas emission problem by producing and using energy more efficiently and by promoting more uses of green or renewable energy to help lowering our carbon footprints on the earth that we live in. Now, I have been asked to speak a bit on the theme of this year's SPE Thailand E&P Gala dinner, which is conserving energy and environment. First of all, energy saving and energy conservation measures do no harm, and it is the easiest and most sensible way for every corporation or citizen to do. It pays for its own investment and help cut long-term operating expenditure. Thailand have, over the past few years, revised our energy policy and strategies in order to improve energy efficiency and promote more production and usage of renewable energy. On the energy demand side management, the Thai government is aggressively implementing our 20-year energy efficiency and conservation plan from the year 2010 to 2030, which aim to reduce the country energy intensity index, or the ratio of energy consumption to the national GDP, by 25% during that period. I am proud to report that in Thailand, efforts have been made to raise